Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shem Awashai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that be among the heathen nations, that be like unto the speckled bird, and the aquaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson and current events. The current events of the downfall of Babylon. All right, so watched a bunch of different news reports and videos, and this was the pertinent information that I retained from them. All right, the Dow was down, the market damn near crashed. It went down 3,200 points, the worse than 2008. All right, and basically three of the biggest stocks with Apple, Tesla, and Boeing are a bust. They're pretty much they're almost wiped out, man. It's not looking good for them at all. All right, so let's grab a quick scripture, and all this can be connected to that, to China being shut down because of the coronavirus. It is having a worldwide effect, and America's economy is directly connected to China's. Hence the reason why there hasn't been a full-blown war up to this point, which I'm going to speak on that in a moment. But first, this scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. And in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the window be darkened. And these people want to go back to work in China and different places, but can't. Some places there's just no places to go back to work to because of the retail apocalypse. Right? So basically the grinders have ceased in China, which is messing up the production and supply chain to the other countries and other businesses worldwide that were all intimately connected. All right? There goes those people with that lie IQ that decided it was okay to send all the businesses, all the factories overseas for cheap labor and send majority to China. Because two things happen. China rose up to become a financial giant, which was clearly on a path to surpass America until this virus hit. Because it makes you wonder, especially being that America owns the patent on the coronavirus, what happens when the rest of the world figures it out? And now it's in 55 countries. It makes that, and the nations shall hate the whore, is really making that scenario, that scripture, that prophecy look like it's close at hand. All right, which in a sense the nations already do hate the whore, but they're really gonna hate him when they find out, And it says, and those that look out the windows be darkened. People don't see a future, man. So I can only imagine the level of suicides that are already happening that they're not even reporting on. Right? Because suicides were already high in America. They were high among law enforcement. They were high among military. And now I just found out last week that they're really high among doctors. Verse 4, Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding's low. And it is, because especially in China, they're snatching people off the streets. Forced quarantines. There were more people in quarantine in China than there is in the whole continent of the United States. So when you go downtown, if you downtown New York, downtown New Jersey, downtown Chicago, downtown San Francisco, or any busy place like that, and you look around and imagine that all the people that you see, it will be more than that are actually in quarantine, forced quarantine. That's a reality. Imagine 10 football stadiums of people that just can't leave, because it's way more than that. And the door shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music is brought low. So people are getting up early in the morning to try to go on you know, to go to fill out applications and job interviews, but how can someone hire you when their doors are shut? All these businesses being shut down left and right, and this virus is helping it. And it also makes you think too, you know, how all these videos have been done about these elites building all these bunkers on islands and over in Sweden. All right, you know, and all the people who reported on it, and the preppers, even though prepping is not going to save them, but it is the intelligent thing to do in all reality, when you look at their circumstances and with the knowledge that they know, what the understanding that they have. You know, see, those preppers actually had the right mindset, minus the scriptures, that is, minus the reality of the scriptures, but just on a carnal level, that was an intelligent idea. Because why? Because even it shows you that people in the world who don't even believe in the Bible, or have or they have the very biased, ignorant Christian, you know, plantation Christian doctrine breakdown of the scriptures, they still knew to go out and buy food and water and get, you know, get sort of preparate and make preparations for the SHTF scenarios. All right, learning urban combat, teaching the children how to hunt, how to shoot, how to survive in the woods overnight, how to make shelters and things of that nature, man. They got whole classes on that where people go to the woods where they teach you how to survive in the woods. Okay? Because he knows a lot of them, and all these city dwellers who made fun of people who were doing that, well, it seems like y'all gonna get the last, those prepper people gonna get the last laugh, man. But to no avail, because they you know, all these traps that were set by the elites, other E is gonna fall into them, and other people as well. All right, but a lot of these elites are gonna fall into their own traps, man, just like Haman did, man. You know, Haman set up those gallows to hang the Israelites, and ended up hanging on the gallows himself. Well, that's kind of going to happen with a lot of these people with these bunkers and things of that nature, man. A lot of them are never going to make it to their bunkers. Other people are going to be in their bunkers. This is Sirach 27 and 26. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. You see, because what I believe is that America hit China with that virus, because the whole raccoon city, corona raccoon, same word. Watch the Resident Evil movies, and where that disease spread, it started in Asia, Japan, and China, then spread to the whole world. If you've never seen those movies, all right, and if you do take the word corona and change the lettering, the only other word you're gonna, well, there's plenty of words, but one of the main words you're gonna come up with is raccoon. Raccoon City. All right, but when the nations of the world find out, and they finally trace it back, it's not gonna be good. This is Rex 84, Agenda 21 in full swing. It tells you on the Georgia Guidestones that they want to bring humanity down to 500 million. That means that they plan on killing 6.5 billion people, man. And this and it has begun, because this thing is not slowing down. And now you have the first case out in Oakland. I mean, not out in Oakland, but out in California. I think somewhere near San Francisco, or in San Francisco, where a guy, no, it was in somewhere near Santa Rosa, I think in Marin County. But anyway, some guy got sick who hadn't traveled anywhere. So that means this virus has jumped to the regular populations. He came in contact with someone, or someone that touched something that was actually infected, and he touched it too, and there it is, man. Person, place, or thing. Because that virus can live, that weaponized virus, which patent is right here in America, it lives on the surface for up to 14 days, man. And I think one of the main reasons why it hasn't spread as much as it probably could in America at this point, because it's still cold in the majority of the country. Man, if it was hot, whoa, boy. But this is Psalms 69 and 22, and it reads, let that table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. So that's those bunkers, man. When these elites try to retreat and go hide in those bunkers, man, it's you know, it's all going to backfire on a lot of them, man. Because some are going to make it, because the scriptures clearly say that they're going to be the first fruits of slavery, and their first employment is going to be to bury all the dead bodies. That's scriptural. Though they dig into hell, and the hell is digging into the ground. That's how you know, because they call them DUMBs, deep underground military bases. And of course, those fallout shelters. All right? To no avail, those people going to go into those bunkers, man. And the men of the Lord, the hunters, are going to get them, man. All right? Jeremiah 16:16. All right? But this is Deuteronomy 32 and 23. All right? And it reads, and I will heap mischief upon them, and I will spend my arrows upon them, because Yahweh's gonna reap mischiefs upon Esau, who prescribes mischief by law. All right, and he's gonna spend none of the arrows, and those are those arrows that fly from one end of the other earth to the other, that can make everything that you're looking at through this camera lens melt. What can make concrete and steel just melt away, man? Make the trees and the earth just melt away to dust. Yeah, those arrows. The Lord's going to take control of those arrows. He created the smith that created the waster. Okay? The Lord did that. You know, just like the Lord was behind the scientists, it says, how can a man know his goings? The one who weaponized this raccoon virus, coronavirus, which they say has HIV traits. How the hell you going to have HIV traits without it being put there? Because guess what? There's a patent for that too. Hell, I had a Somalian Ishmaelite, you know, who actually works in the in that field, who has worked in that field, in biology and science and that whole sort of thing. So the viruses, this virus was clearly man-made, because viruses, what it's doing is a mutation, and those you know mutations like that take a very, 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 very long time to happen, if it happened naturally. And even a mutation is controlled by the Lord, man. However you cut that pie. Okay? Because yeah, this as a matter of fact, this weapon, do you think about that movie The Crazies, man? All right? This thing was weaponized. In that movie The Crazies, if you've never seen it, I highly suggest that you watch it. Because in that movie, what happened was a military plane went down and it crashed. And a military plane that went down had a bioweapon on it. And the bioweapon was created to destabilize civilizations, so that the houses and the infrastructure stay intact. All right, so that the people, you know, would just go nuts and kill each other off or go crazy or whatever. It'd be easy to round them up or put them down, and that way you don't have bombed out cities. You know, how nice would it be to take over land? I'm in Bucktown. So how nice would it be to just take over Bucktown and all these $1 million condos, into which they're not worth that at all, but all these $1 million+ condos and things that are around were still intact. You don't have to rebuild anything. And that was the basis of that movie. And what happened was the military came in and did a cordon sanitaire on it in the worst way. Their orders was to kill anything that tried to come out. That was it. Because all the citizens that were getting rounded up, they weren't getting treated, they were getting put to death. That's what happened. The military came in, they didn't try to heal or fix anyone. They lined them up, or they put them in the back of, put them on cattle cars and just shot them down, man. They killed them like dogs. And don't think that that sort of thing can't happen now, man. America is entered into uncharted territory. This is stage 2. I did a video last week. I do believe it was last week, or either the beginning of this week. And I talked about stage 1. We in stage 2 of SHTF. All right? Rapidly getting there. I think by the time we get to stage 4, it's going to be total chaos in the streets. All right? Because stage 3 is they're going to make the announcement. They're going to start shutting down schools and meetings in public places. A lot of your sports forums about to get canceled. And things of that nature. Concerts. All right? Let's grab another scripture. This is Psalms 52. And 2. Slovakia. And it reads, the tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness, Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. And and the other nations are being deceitful as hell right now. Just like this thing going on over in Turkey, man. That dude, that Amalekite in Turkey that's running the show, Erdogan, man, he's something else, man. All right, because 39 of his soldiers got killed, and now he's saying that he retaliated and killed dozens. All right, but his soldiers, his rebels that he's supporting or whatever, they got killed. They have no business doing what they're doing. Turkey has no rights or no reason to be in the land of Syria. That's a sovereign land. The same way that American and Israelis had no right to be there. The Chinese and the Russians were invited there by the Syrian government. The Russians are the ones who defeated and put out ISIS. Hell, Barack Obama was dropping bombs on in Syria, but none on ISIS. Same thing with the other nations. They were dropping bombs they weren't dropping bombs on ISIS. They were dropping bombs on Assad. But Russia came in and in less than 6 months and smashed ISIS. So all that talk, all that whole time, you know, that Barack Obama was in office, he did nothing for Syria, and he definitely did nothing for you so-called black people who ignorantly and with your stupid selves, you people who refer to yourselves as that, still support that man. He's a damn Hamite. He's not even your people, man. Barack Obama's people sold you to the Edomites, sold you to the so-called white people. That's right. Hamites, so-called Africans, were selling Hebrew Israelites, a different dark race of people. They were not the same. All right? Their history didn't start. Ain't nobody ever in history ever done nothing like that. Sell off their own people in masses like that. All right? I was just telling Edomite, well, she might be a Jake. She might be. About a half hour ago, that Barack Obama and the Negroes are two different races of people, and that the Negroes that were sold here in America, they got sold as slaves. They were stolen out of Africa, but Africa was not their homes. They were refugees there. And it's time for the history books to acknowledge that that's actually in your books, just not the ones they prescribe for learning. You know, those aren't the books that were used, man. Okay, one more thing, man. Business is not usual in Babylon, man. It will not be business as usual. Life as you know it is going to continually get worse and change. There is no going back at this point. Things are only going to get worse for us as well. For the elect, and they'll say that we're going to be tried in fire. We got to be brought through the fire, man. All right. You know, the kingdom of heaven through much suffering, enter into the kingdom of heaven. That's scriptural. This is Isaiah 24 and 8. And it reads, the mirth of Tabret ceaseth, and the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the heart ceaseth. And people are not rejoicing like they have been. People aren't spending money. Gold has gone up over $1,600. It's probably gonna double that within a month or even faster. You're looking at the end of all fiat currencies, man. And so this thing is being done to help usher in the chip. It's also being done to help disguise the downfall of the Fed, the downfall of the petrodollar. All right, this is going to be a really good excuse to bring in the digital currency, where they can have absolute total control and get rid of currency, so no one can make under the table or backdoor deals. Everything, they will be able to control everything that anyone and everyone does. Ushering in the mark of the beast, which is in Revelation, the 13th chapter. You won't be able to buy or sell save you have that mark, man. And taking that mark is a death sentence from on high. And a lot of people are going to take it because they're not going to have the courage, nor the discipline, nor the faith to go without it. You know, and it just is what it is. They're not going to have the courage, the faith, nor the discipline. And another thing too, you got mass food sell-offs too. And Costco is completely sold out of its 3-month and 6-month food supplies. And then the big buckets of food and all that sort of thing. So it won't be long before the store shelves are empty. Totally all across the board, man, because people are going out and buy stuff in bulk. Sakari was telling me yesterday how he's been working for Amazon, and when he's making all these deliveries way out in the burbs, he's been noticing the huge stockpiles of toilet tissue and things of that nature. People are preparing, man. But what are you jakes doing? You just want to party and bullshit, smoke blunts, stand outside in the cold for the next pair of Jordans to drop. Some of you are going to have to eat those Jordans. Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai Bashim Rakak Wadash Wa Abba Shalom.